So I saw this question on a guitar forum that I'm a part of, our Facebook group, and it was someone asking for tips about how to play bar chords. And so, as you know, bar chords are notoriously hard to play. They hurt your hand, and it takes them a while to get used to and to develop to be able to play them cleanly. So I thought I'd offer just a couple tips that have helped me. So if we look at this A major chord, the first tip is depending on what chord you're playing, you want to use different kinds of pressure. So for example, this A major chord, what I'm not doing is trying to play every note with my first finger to apply enough pressure for everything to ring like that. It's not necessary, and even just doing that right now hurt my finger. So what you want to do is realize that those three notes will be played by other fingers, and so your first finger just has to have enough pressure to play the low A and the top two strings. That's be the note E and A on top. And so I'm kind of curving my fingers. So I'm definitely using let's see here, this kind of flat part, and my fingers kind of bent a little bit, and that allows me to get those three notes that I need. And so one way you can demonstrate this is, so if I play this A major chord and then I let go of these other three fingers, notice that those middle notes are not getting pressed down. So you don't want to work harder than you have to get that chord. So you might start off with just the lowest four notes with no bar. So I'm not using a bar at all. And then when you want the next two notes, just slowly add the pressure on this part of the hand. Yeah. So that's tip number one, is don't work harder than you have to. Realize that your other fingers are playing those notes, so you don't have to apply that pressure there. Now if you play A minor, you're adding an additional note that your first finger has to cover. And so one thing I notice that I do is, so here's A major, watch my first finger. When I go to play A minor, I'm kind of scooting back a little bit. And what that does is it gives me more strength with that first finger. And my second finger is actually kind of helping that first one, press down on it slightly if needed. So it's almost like I'm using the strength of, maybe 1.5 fingers there. And my hand position changes slightly. So here's A major, A minor. So that really helps me have a little bit more strength there to get that extra note in there. Something else that's going on, so I guess we'll call this tip number 2, is to use gravity to your advantage. So on guitar with these bar chords, you do need to apply pressure against the fretboard, obviously. However, you can also use gravity to help you. So if you think about kind of letting your hand hang on the guitar as opposed to just pushing back on it. So if you grab that A minor chord, for example, right here, and just kind of relax your arm a little bit, you'll notice that your gravity is kind of pushing the strings down, and it's helping you. So you're using that to your advantage, so you don't have to work quite as hard. Yeah, I can really feel my arm just hanging on the guitar there. Yeah. So that's tip number 2, is to use gravity. Tip number 3, or maybe it's just a reminder, is that depending on where you are in your guitar journey, is that this stuff just takes time, and it takes your hand literally has to get strong enough to do these chords. So if you can't do them right away, it's just because, like any other muscle, you just need to work at it and your hand will get stronger over time. So, anyway, just don't get too frustrated if you can't do it right away. It does take some strength to do that. So, let's see if I can think of anything else here. Let's go to D major here. So there's this D major bar chord. I see a lot of guitar players playing it like this with your third finger. And that's okay, I can do it, but I'm already kind of uncomfortable doing that. I find it really helpful to use your fourth finger as the bar. And again, I'm using gravity to help me play that chord. Another thing I see guitar players doing is, like, for that D chord, they'll play a whole bar like this, and it sounds something like that. And you're just working way too hard. Realize that this chord starts here on this note. You're not using the 6th string, and then use your pinky to play the bar. And I find that it's a way more comfortable than doing that. So you have to experiment with that. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, like an exercise that you can try and do. Sometimes I'll do this to warm up, is I'll start kind of as pretty high, and I'll go back and forth between these 2 bar chords. I'll go. Now I broke the rule, right? When you're up high like this, it's easier with your 3rd finger. As you get lower, it's easier with your 4th finger. I'll show you. So. Switch to my 4th finger. My hand's already getting tired, but it's a good workout, and it'll build some strength over time. You can also do strumming patterns. So yeah, my hand's tired. And then definitely take breaks, after you do that for a few minutes, even just a couple minutes. Make sure to rest your hands so you don't hurt yourself. So anyway, hope that helps, and good luck with your bar chords. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe and give the video a like and say hello in the comments. Thanks for watching.